Before the movie even begins, we open on Tarantino's now standard opening card. But the first direct reference actually takes place before this. This opening shot here pays homage to samurai cinema, where movies like Tokyo Drifter and Lady Snowblood have similar text treatments. RZA from Wu-Tang Clan, who produced the movie's soundtrack, said that these visual elevations act as a nod to kung fu film buffs. Okay, fast forward. Freeze on this shot. This quote was uttered by Khan in Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan.
Do you know the Klingon proverb that tells us revenge is a dish that is best served cold?
And even though the origin of the quote could date back to the 1700s, we'll chalk this one up as a Star Trek reference anyway. Moving along, this powerful cold open where the bride is panting, it's inspired by this scene in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, where Eli Wallach points a gun at Clint Eastwood, who's near death. Let's keep going. Okay, here. These stylized shots of the bride lying in what looks like a coffin after Bill put a bullet in her head, they were a reference to these silhouette shots from Citizen Kane.
Till this day, sometimes I cry.
Fast forwarding. Okay, see here how Tarantino has divided the movie into chapters? That's another reference to Lady Snowblood, which is also told in chapters. And trust us, Kill Bill was heavily influenced by this Japanese classic, so you're going to see it pop up a ton. Up next we have this dramatic zoom into the bride's eyes. This is a reference to the movie Death Rides a Horse, where the camera zooms into the lead character Bill's eyes when he remembers a traumatic experience. Also, you hear that noise? That's actually a Quincy Jones song from the 1967 TV show Ironside. The track also appears in the martial arts classic Five Fingers of Death before lead actor Lee Low engages in battle. Phew! Okay, that was 3 references in 1. Are you keeping up? This fight scene between the bride and Vernita Green, aka Copperhead, it's an homage to blaxploitation movies like 1973's Coffee, where they don't shy away from showing 2 powerful women engaging in a vicious battle. Moving past the broken glass on the floor, to this moment. See how the bride's name is censored? This was inspired by movies like Made in USA by Jean-Luc Godard, where character names were drowned out by diegetic sounds. Fast forward to here.
This Pasadena homemaker's name is Jeannie Bell.
The bride tells the viewer that Vernita has changed her name to Jeannie Bell, like this Jeannie Bell, blaxploitation star and Playboy playmate.
Her name was Vernita Green.
Okay, fast forward. The row of sunglasses on the dash? That's a direct lift from the opening scene in Gone in 60 Seconds, the original, not the one with Angelina Jolie. This is Elle Driver, probably the best whistler you've ever heard. That song she's whistling? It's called Twisted Nerve, which was also whistled in the movie of the same name. And Elle's look was inspired by Christina Lindbergh's character in Thriller: A Cruel Picture and Patch from Switchblade Sisters. And skip to here. This split screen? Tarantino included this as an ode to filmmaker Brian De Palma. The technique appears in a number of his films, like Carrie, Sisters, and Dressed to Kill.
I want to report an emergency, a murder.
Moving along to here. This scene where Elle plans on killing the bride in a nurse's outfit is a reference to Martha Keller's character in Black Sunday, where she does the exact same thing. Moving on. This gloriously gruesome act of revenge is a reference to the movie Lone Wolf and Cub, Baby Cart to Hades. And right after that, the song that starts playing is called Seven Note by Bixio, Fritzi, and Tempera. It appeared in the movie The Psychic, which is about a woman who can see into the future and is horrified by the circumstances surrounding her own death. Kinda like the bride, right? Okay. Here we have Buck, who says,
"My name is Buck, and I'm here to
which also appears at the start of Eaten Alive.
Name's Buck. I'm raring to
Fast forward to here. Buck's truck? Its name is inspired by these lyrics from Grease. Fast forward. Okay. We have another Lady Snowblood reference here.
Members all.
Fast forward. C.O. Ren's codename? That's actually a reference to the Marvel Comics universe. In it, there's a group called the Serpent Society, and some of the members have names just like the Deadly Viper Assassination Squad. We have Cottonmouth, Copperhead, Sidewinder, and of course, Black Mamba. Now let's get into a bit of anime. This sequence that shows Oren's origin matches up pretty perfectly with the opening scene in Death Rides a Horse.
She swore revenge. Luckily for her, Boss Matsumoto was a pedophile.
And a little further into it, this scene where she shoots the bodyguards from under Boss Matsumoto's bed, it's an homage to this scene in Miller's Crossing. Moving along to here.
But on that
At the end of
day,
the anime sequence,
4
the
years
bride
ago,
says,
she made one big mistake. She should have killed 10.
which is pulled from the Death Rides a Horse trailer, where the voiceover says,
defenseless people made one big mistake. They should have killed 6.
and then
Hattori Hanzo.
we meet the infamous Hattori Hanzo, which is a reference to one of Tarantino's favorite childhood TV shows, Kage no Gundam, or for American audiences, Shadow Warriors. Sonny Chiba, who plays Hattori Hanzo in Kill Bill, also plays Hattori Hanzo in Shadow Warriors. And skipping to this scene where Hattori Hanzo hands the bride one of his eponymous swords. It's a nod to this scene in Samurai Reincarnation.
その武蔵殿を切るために旅の途上で神が立ちはだかれば神をも切れるであろう神に会っては神を切り
Fast forward to Gogo, the most badass schoolgirl / head of security detail you'll ever meet. Gogo was actually inspired by Chiaki Kuriyama's character in Battle Royale, signed off with a cheeky homage to her penchant for stabbing men in the crotch. And then we have this sickly orange sky, which is a direct reference to the opening scene in Goke Body Snatcher from Hell. Oh, and you hear that song? It's the theme song from The Green Hornet by Al Hirt. The show starred Bruce Lee, which will be important a little later on. And for that, let's throw one on the board for music and TV. Our introduction to The Crazy 88. This song here is called Battle Without Honor or Humanity by Tomoyasu Hotei. The title of the song makes sense, right? Moving along to here, when Crazy 88 members think the House of Blue Leaves owner looks like a well-known Peanuts character. Fast forward to this tense standoff. We have the theme song from Death Rides a Horse, which was composed by Ennio Morricone, one of Tarantino's favorite composers. And then this happens. These super bloody special effects are lifted from movies like Lady Snowblood. Fast forward to here. This suffocating scene is a reference to Deep Red. And when Gogo gets slain, that's a reference to City of the Living Dead. Moving along to... okay, here. When the bride is getting surrounded by an army of warriors, it's actually referencing a few movies, like Lone Wolf and Cub, Baby Cart to Hades, where there's a gang of fighters versus one lone warrior. And here, where the Crazy 88 gets spooked when the bride raises her sword, that's from Fist of Fury, starring Bruce Lee. And her outfit? That's from another Bruce Lee movie called Game of Death. Okay, get ready because the next few references are going to come in fast here. Plucking out this guy's eye? That's from Five Fingers of Death. And this axe throw? That's from Navajo Joe. And this poor guy gets chopped completely in half, which is a reference to this scene in Ichi the Killer. And this scream? It's the infamous Wilhelm scream. Whew. Okay. The way the bride pushes the wounded Crazy 88 member back to get some space with her sword is a reference to Lady Snowblood, who does the exact same thing with her sword. Fast forward to this silhouette battle. It mirrors the opening sequence in Samurai Fiction. And then we move along to this epic fight scene that takes place on the balustrade, which is an homage to Scaramouche. All right, let's keep going. The snow-covered garden, it's just like the one in Lady Snowblood. Skip to the duel in the snow, which resembles, yep, you guessed it, Lady Snowblood.